Okay, yeah, this is, I don't know, what, maybe a little update about the counters that I'm making for the Caporetto for the Italian front. Um, yeah, I've more or less I figured out the direction I'm going to go. This is still not exactly how I'm going to go about it, but um, I certainly do want to get to the point where I'm using either pegs, um, like little holes in the counter, so I can just place the micro counters or the little tokens in the holes, or have the some pegs sticking out of the counters, and then just slide. But I think the other way around would be better, just to have the holes and then be able to peg them in. I think would be the better way to go. Also, I don't know if you have these around your store, but my goodness, are these ever nice. So this is what I've been using for the ASMs, and I'm just amazed that they stack and don't stick. And I don't know if they're like little tiny ice cube trays. I don't know if they're those things that people use with alcohol or whatever to make those weird jello shots or whatnot. Anyways, yeah, I've been starting to fiddle. The irony here, so I'll zoom in a bit so you can see a bit more of the what I'm talking about, I guess, I hope. Now, so it got me thinking before I went for my second sleep there. I was thinking, you know what? Maybe a good thing would be to alternate turns when you're doing the Caporetto game. Have one turn. Well, at first it was just originally I was just going to do a quick video of showing the map with my counters and then the way you should be playing the game. And I was thinking, wait a minute, I can alternate one turn with my counters and then another turn the way you're supposed to do it, and see, and that way I would actually get a proper, I think, feel of, hey, this actually doesn't make a lot of sense, or it does, or it's something in between. I'm not really sure. And then additionally, like I said, I figured out what I want to do with the counters, and yes, the Caporetto game was or is going to be fair amount of experimentation for me in the sense of a lot of the post recording work, so I could, you know, add little extra little you know, information windows and so on and so forth, like have a little picture of like the Alpini units, so you know, when I discuss that and so on and so forth. That all that stuff, I'm not saying that it's like a whatever, but like one of the intentions for this scenario, or doing these you know, feature bits with Caporetto and the Italian front, as I've mentioned, I feel like in a way I've stolen so much from this game by you know, not doing exactly what you're supposed to do with it. So I felt like, oh, you know, maybe you should be giving back properly. And I was like, oh my God, you're not obviously giving back properly if you're playing with your own counters, but by the official rules. And if I've already figured out what I want to do, maybe I should just be playing the Caporetto game using the proper counters and so on and so forth. But I will show you what I am going to go with. So maybe not with this is what I'm saying. And yet again, I'm not going to be using these the way they are. The irony is just at the size that I'm using right now, everything is kind of just needs to fit. That's what the irony for me is, that I've gone away from counter clipping. I only did it for a tiny little bit, I guess, and at the very beginning it was like, oh, everybody's doing it, I guess I should, and I was like, I don't like this, it just drives me up the tree. Maybe because I was only using clippers, normal nail clippers, so maybe that was, I don't know. Anyways, the irony is that for me to get to fit a lot of these things, I've had to clip a micro clip the counters. These little ASMs, I'm like, this is ridiculous. I just find it funny. So what I've decided to do anyways is So as you can see, well, except for the fortresses are going to have their identification on the top left. But then I'm also going to see if I can bring one over. It doesn't matter. I wanted to try to streamline, like I said, as much information, but use as much of the geography of the counter. So this guy here, he's got a gray shaded in area, and that's all just telling me that there's also the presence of German troops there as well, not just Austrian troops. The yellowish thing in the center would just be fortress strength points. It has nothing else to do with anybody else. The bottom left would be infantry strength points only, so it wouldn't count in artillery or cavalry. Headquarters would be on the top right hand corner. The bottom right hand corner would be supply points. And then I was also using these tiny little square waves over here to represent trenches, an entrenched position. And then I was also using, because I just couldn't figure out what to do, there's also some devastation markers and some troops with in an area with a devastation marker that should be in there. So I decided to just put these little things here to kind of, like I said, it was just a kind of an indication, okay, that's not the greatest terrain in the world. And then just for the devastation marker, for now, like I said, it was just to, oh, there we go. I'll put it up there. It was just to kind of show. Maybe I should zoom out a little tiny bit. I keep forgetting. Hold on. There we go. Yeah. So, what else? And then I was also thinking I can still use, for example, I've also done here, this one's a scary, by the way, scary unit. You should see the Italian supply points for the Caporetto. It's pitiful. And then you have one hex like this. Yep, that's right. 100 supply points. Germans are sitting there with their 14th HQ, and oh my goodness. It's almost like, what do you do with that? And then here again, I just shaded in the middle identification number for the counter just to represent that there are some German troops there as well. Yeah, so I guess I'm kind of at a crossroads. I'm thinking maybe I should just stick to playing the Caporetto. If I'm using I've already got this bit finished for myself, and I can start really, I don't know. I think maybe I'll try to pretend. No, I think I've got the idea of what I want to do with the counters. I don't need to do this, but maybe I should just do it legit, the entire thing. It'll be nice when I can get to the YouTube thing where I'm allowed to do a poll thing or whatever. If people could say, no, you should do this or that or the other thing. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Okay, I'll zoom out again, but yeah, I'm starting to think maybe I should just do the Caporetto thing completely the way it is. But yet again, or maybe I'll do a second video of just showing, okay, this is the kind of information you'd be getting with these counters, and then we'll flip on the other side and go, okay, what, they may look prettier, but you've got the stack of stuff, and can you really see what's underneath or whatever? I don't know. From a viewer's point of view, this, like I said, it's more that way, not me. Because I've already got me out of the way. I already got I understand what's going on. Okay.